Join us on Geek Blood, the show you can't ignore. Wayne and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real, real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood forever, we love it so much. Geek Blood, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blood, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up, right? Geek Blood, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us and every week we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's happening?
Not much. Yourself?
Doing all right. Hot
Pretty
day
good.
today. It's
Yeah.
Unbearable for fat guys like me. I don't want to say I can't wait for winter because I hate winter equally as much as the very, very hot days. So
I can't wait
let's
for
jump into a
fall.
show.
Fall's the perfect weather for me.
I
love
love
fall.
my favorite month of the year. My favorite month of the year is June. It's right between summer, right between spring. The leaves are full. You don't have anything falling. In the fall, there's leaves everywhere. But yeah, May and June are my favorite months, except for May has a lot of rain. That's our weather talk for the day. Start a new month off. We're gonna do a one-part show and tell. So many geeky things that we could pull off from the shelf. We've been collecting shit for years and now we're whipping it out. So it's time to showcase all the money that we wasted well. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It's Geek Web Show and Tell. Yeah, I don't have anything this week. Kevin does, though. Something he's very excited to show off.
Which, I mean, it's kind of the same as last month, kind of. But
Power on. Ignition 9 connected.
my new lightsaber. This is the one from
How many
the games.
do you have now?
This is my third.
Oh, yeah, with the leather.
Next
your
month,
third.
I've got something very special for us. Because it's the last one I'll be ordering for a very long time because they're expensive. But there was a deal, and I had to get one, especially the one that's coming in next month. But yeah, this is the Force Unleashed one, which actually isn't even in the video game, which is funny. It was just used on the promotional stuff for the game.
Blade 3.
Best thing I didn't show off last time is the music that each one has.
Nice.
So yeah.
Power off.
Yeah, I love this hilt is absolutely beautiful, and it's great for swinging around.
Yeah, I like
it's a
that.
little bit heavy, but you do have to put on the. I had a little trouble with the wrap, because it's not like a sticky sided wrap, so you kind of have to. I basically wrapped it and super glued like each end, and at first I only super glued one, and it kind of was fine. Then when I did my unboxing video, it was kind of coming loose, so I redid it and just super glued both ends, and I just love the way it looks. It's a great looking lightsaber. yeah, very happy with it.
Yeah, you posted an unboxing. Do you want to plug your
Yes.
if anybody's watching this and wants to go on there?
YouTube.com/@KevCo collects. I'll be doing.
Yeah, he
I'll be
unboxed
trying
that
to
lightsaber on there.
unbox stuff as they come in. I just ordered the Hostel, so I'll do that when it comes in October. The 4K set, which looks pretty dope. You know me, I love Eli Ross.
Yeah,
so,
we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. Yep. Yeah, jump into what we watched this week. This last couple of weeks, we were off last week. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it or not. Probably not because you were working. But SummerSlam happened while we were away. Did you watch night 1 or night 2 or any of it? Yeah, it was one of the worst big pay-per-views I've seen in a while. It reminds you of the days of when it was only one night. When there's 2 nights of SummerSlam, you see all the bad parts very easily.
Yes,
they're highlighted because there's so
much. Same
much
thing happens with WrestleMania every year. Like this year's WrestleMania night 1 was fucking awful.
Yeah, night 2 was fantastic because it was just highlighted by so many great matches. But night 1 had CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, which was an okay match. The highlight of the night was Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell. That was Brock Lesnar's swan song in his hometown, in his home state. So, and he did retire the next day I believe on what's his name, the guy there. I don't remember his name. I don't know, Source guy, but Nick Aldis versus Gunther. Why that match happened, I don't know. Nick Aldis, he was a great wrestler, but they haven't booked him as a wrestler in WWE. He's been kind of just like the general manager of SmackDown or wherever he is right now. So I guess that was kind of like his swan song of wrestling as well, because now he's back into the general manager position after the match. So I guess Gunther has another retirement on his belt, so to speak, for his legend killer side gimmick that he has. Other than that, that night was kind of boring. Night 1 was okay. Night 2 was even worse. Some are saying the worst match of all time. I say, if you like Danhausen, the best match of the night. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. A lot of theatrics, a lot of crazy shit, lots of midgets. And if you like Danhausen, if you like that type of comedy in wrestling, you're going to love that match. And the Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns was the best match of the whole weekend. The storytelling of that match, kind of the end of their story, what it seemed to be, like the end of the Shield, the end of their story. You kind of got the last time ever type of vibes from that match. It was really good. I don't know what it was ended up being rated, but I watched the whole thing. It was awesome. Other than that, again, the other thing, the first match, which was awesome. Kevin Owens came back on night 2, which was incredible. And he won number 1 contender shot, and he's going to be going into a feud in the fall with CM Punk, which I know we're not really watching wrestling much besides the big pay-per-views like SummerSlam, but 2 monsters on the mic going until probably Survivor Series is going to be standing. And if you're a fan of that type of wrestling and the psychological aspect of it, that's what you want to watch. Kevin Owens just came out of neck injury, neck surgery. He's been gone, I believe, for 18 months, just came back. And Kevin Owens, we saw him way back in the day at Ring of Honor. So he's been around for a very long time. And the first thing he did when he got into this match was jumped over the top rope and did a flip. And he just fucking injured his neck and came back doing shit like that. So you kind of get where his wrestling stance is. So he's an amazing wrestler. Probably one of the better ones in the WWE right now. So overall, SummerSlam was kind of a dud. I wish it was night 1. You could have cut all the fat out of it and had 6 matches and cut all the fat out of it, and still had a women's match, still had some great matches, title matches. They just have way too many wrestlers, way too much going on. And we've been saying that ever since the brand split back in the early 2000s. We've been saying that it's more so now. It just seems like it's just so crazy that there's so much going on, and half of it you don't even care about. So, that's SummerSlam. I canceled my ESPN because the price went up. I was in on the 1-year deal for if you signed up for 1 year, you got a deal on it. And after this month, went up, so I canceled it. So I have no Disney Plus, no Hulu, no ESPN, and I'm finding my ways around finding that stuff. Unfortunately, because I just don't have the money, and like a lot of people in America right now, just don't have the money to deal with it. So,
Meanwhile, I'm buying lifesavers.
Yeah, I could do that. All the money I'm saving,
but I do need I do need to get Hulu back at some point because I do kind of miss Hulu, mainly when Hell's Kitchen comes back because that's like.
Oh yeah.
I haven't watched a lot on Hulu to be honest. Like I watched The Bear, and that was about it in the last 8 months. I don't watch much in the summer, anyways, as you know.
Yeah,
I fucking haven't even seen Spider-Man yet, so you're gonna go on that alone. I'm gonna take my headphones off. So.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna try to do it with no spoilers as much as I can because I know you haven't. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the Odyssey, but the other thing we're gonna talk about, we've been talking about this for a while, is Cape Fear. Did you have a chance to watch the 92, 91 version this week?
I watched the 91 version
before.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was all right. It was like the show. You can talk about the old one because you watched that one, right?
I did. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you can talk about that and compare it. But the 91 version basically just it's a movie about a stalker as opposed to all the other backstory they gave you during the show. It seemed like it was okay. Definitely not one of Scorsese's best. I think he was.
No, I was thinking that too when I saw it.
He was either coming off Goodfellas or he filmed it right before Goodfellas, but it was around that time.
It was a year.
It was a year after.
Goodfellas.
So that's a bit of a dip in quality. But I mean, Scorsese is a gangster mafia movie god, and that's not really that type of story. So I could see why. But De Niro was good.
Yeah, De Niro was great in that movie, but that out of all of his movies, and I realized it when I watched it, it's Scorsese's weakest.
One of the worst Scorsese movies, along with some of his 2000 runs, which sometimes I feel like are overrated. People are just like, "Oh my god, it's a new Martin Scorsese movie, and he's fucking 85 years old." But it's one of his, definitely one of probably his worst, like early 90s, like in that era from like 70s through 90s, probably his worst, I would say.
Yeah. But I did go back and I watched the 1962 version. And that version is closer to the TV show.
Is it okay?
Robert Mitchum plays Max Cady. And as a matter of fact, Robert Mitchum and Gregory Peck both have cameos in the 92 version of this movie.
Nice.
They have cameos. He was the older detective, and he was the older representative of Max Cady later when he's all beat up. Yep. Okay. But Gregory Peck played the lawyer who gets harassed by Robert Mitchum, Max Cady, and that's played out through all three iterations of this. And Robert Mitchum's character has the fedora, has the Hawaiian shirt, the open Hawaiian shirt, just like Javier Bardem in the TV show.
Nice.
The theme song from this became the theme song in the 92 movie and also became the theme song for the TV shows. That's where the thriller of
I like that
horns,
when I heard the because I really like that little theme. It's a nice little thing, and I really liked that when I was watching the 91, 92 version. So yeah.
I'm sorry, my foot is really killing me right now. So if you hear me wincing in pain, that's what it is. But overall, I mean, here's some side by sides of the cast. Of all three generations. You've got, of course, Nick Nolte in 92, Robert De Niro in 92. It's a great series. I'm not sure what I prefer. Even the TV series, I have some problems with it. There was some low points in the middle. It started off very, very good.
It was one of the most well made, but most like, I don't know, like it's really hard for me to say, like almost like watching something written by somebody that has like ADHD. I don't know, it was weird. It was like so well made, but at the same time it was so like sporadic or something. Like there was just something weird about the TV show. And I did not really care for the finale much.
Me neither.
Did he have a son in the 1950s version, or was that just for the TV show?
No, 1950s version, he did it. 1992, he had a daughter they hadn't seen in years, is what he said. But
no, not Max Cady, but the family. Was there a son, or was that?
Oh no, he didn't have a son. That was for the TV show. No, the son was only for the TV show. Yeah, it was only been a daughter up until 1962, or in the 1992 version too. But here's Gregory Peck and Robert Mitchum. In their older roles, they had cameos in this movie. Kind of big roles actually for what they were doing in the film, but. Yeah, so I'm all grown up 30 years later. Yeah, overall, I would say out of the three, I prefer the 1962 version, to be
Yep.
honest with you. It's just kind of what it all started. I believe that Scorsese was a huge fan of it. That's why he remade it.
Oh, I'm assuming. Yeah.
And up to the point of even ripping the music off and everything and the whole look.
hmm
Even going back to the TV series, I'm guessing that Spielberg, who produced the TV show with him, must have loved that as well, because they took a lot of
Yep.
liberties from that and brought it into the TV series this year. So overall, series is over. It was limited series, and there's a lot of connections to both, to the point where Juliette Lewis, who is in the '92 movie, has a cameo or is a part of the new series. And she's the daughter in the movies, and she's Max Cady's sister, kind of. It's weird. That's what the TV series got very convoluted. But overall, if you haven't seen Cape Fear, worth seeing. 1962, 1992, even the TV series is worth seeing. Great thriller movies if you're a fan of that type of movie, that type of genre. So very, very good. Speaking of very, very good, we only got one episode left. We're talking about the last two episodes of House of Dragon. Episode 6, while we were away, R.I.P. Christian Cole, now dead. The beginning of that episode, he got murked by some arrows, and he did not last past the 10-minute mark of that episode.
No.
In this episode, you also see dragon eggs. You see, I believe, 5 of them. And we know that 3 of them must survive, and those are the ones that Daenerys gets in Game of Thrones. Other than that, we don't know much more about the dragon eggs. I don't even think they really talk about them in the book, do they? How they got to Daenerys in the book?
Nobody still knows how Daenerys got them. Nobody knows where they came from. It's still a mystery that people think might be explained in the next book if George ever releases it.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a lot of controversy over Christian Cole's death. And if people clearly have not been paying attention to what George R. R. Martin does with Game of Thrones, if you think that's not how he should have gone out, because that's basically how he goes out in the books. The chick that kills him ends up, in the books, is kind of he just dies. He wants a hero's death. He offers to fight 3 or 4 people at the same time. In the show, they did 1 or 2 people, and he basically goes out like that in the books. But the girl that shot him I'm blanking on her name, but she actually ends up becoming the 3rd wife of Cregan Stark, and the Madam of Winterfell, which is where Ned's bloodline is all from her children, I believe. She's the 3rd wife. He has 2 wives die, I believe, during the cold or something, and then she ends up actually being his 3rd wife, and they're madly in love. I fucking love Cregan Stark. He's people think Ned's honorable. Cregan is the most honorable person in the show or in the Game of Thrones lore. And unfortunately, one thing I was really looking forward to from the show, but I was doing the math and there's only 1 season left, we're not going to get to it, would basically be he has a huge part called the Hour of the Wolf, and I think they're going to end it well before that, which is unfortunate because I love the Hour of the Wolf. I'll explain all that in 2 years or 2.5 years whenever the show finishes, assuming they don't get to it. So,
the other thing that happens significantly in episode 6 is Rhaenyra cuts herself on the Iron Throne, and there's an omen involved with that. When a queen or a king goes on the throne, cuts themselves, there's an omen. There's a curse kind of put on them. Her father got turned into like a leopard.
It means
a leopard.
It means you're not supposed to be on the throne. What it means essentially. So yeah. Yep.
So episode 7, they found Sheep Stealer, and they found Daemon's daughter. And Rhaenyra's pissed that she finds out she's the one that killed her son, Jace. And she brings her to King's Landing and puts her in jail. At the end of the episode, you see the resurrection of Sunfire. Spoilers, I'm not going to talk about, but that's a big, huge deal going into the last season of this show, especially with Aegon taking his power back. It's pretty significant. We'll talk about that next season. In the very last scene of this, you see Ormond Hightower, and you see Ulf, one of the Targaryen bastards, and he is turned on Rhaenyra for
Yes.
alcohol. Yeah, I don't know why sure I'm going ahead, but that's where the episode leaves off, leading us to a finale this weekend, which I'm very excited for. And we will talk about that next week. Life flaring in the pursuit of unhappiness. I don't know if you caught up or not.
Yep.
Awesome show. Next week's the finale on that as well. So we're getting 2 episodes of finales next week. Or is it this week? And maybe it's this week tonight. Episode 5 talked about Wyatt Earp. In Tombstone, John Johnson, Timothy Oliphant was in that one. And the other one, there was only 2 things tackled in an episode. It was the Lincoln assassination with Bill Hader and Catherine Hahn, which went on a little bit too long because I love the format of it only being like 7 minutes, but that was more like 15. It was a lot. It was a lot in that show to handle. But episode 6, you see the beginning of Paul Revere. And you see Isla Fisher, who was married to Sacha Baron Cohen. She's been in a whole bunch of comedies. She was in that one. Davy Crockett in The Alamo, Keegan-Michael Key, Oscar from The Office had cameos in that. Women's suffrage and Susan B. Anthony. You see Susie Essman from, of course, Curb Your Enthusiasm. He even calls her Susie, and she reprimands him, saying that her name is really Susan. So I thought that was pretty funny. And the very last scene was Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, the moon landing, and Paul Rudd comes in, and he's playing Neil Armstrong, and Larry's playing Buzz Aldrin. So it was pretty funny at the end. I've got one more episode to talk about. We'll talk about that next week. But great series on history with Larry David, kind of the Curb Your Enthusiasm type comedy. Another show that I can't wait for you to finally catch up on, because I think the finale's next week as well. X-Men 97 had 2 great episodes. This episode was awesome. I know you're a Gambit fan. You're gonna want to watch this last episode.
Yes, but, I heard.
Episode 7, Nightcrawler and Colossus are in the Savage Lands. There's a big battle going on there, and Polaris, the daughter of Magneto, is a big part of that episode. But episode 8, Gambit returns. And if you've seen season 1, you know Apocalypse was kind of standing over his grave, grabbed a card, one of his playing cards, kind of hinting that he would be a member of his 4 Horsemen. Doesn't exactly happen that way. I won't get into any spoilers. So I cannot wait for you to watch it because it's great how they resurrected him. But Gambit returned. And whether he's good or bad, I'll leave that up to when you watch it. And finales next week, we'll know more about that and Apocalypse and everything going on. But yeah, great series, great season so far. And one more episode everybody's saying is awesome. So I cannot wait for the finale next week. Another sleeper hit that nobody's really talking about. Stuart saves, there's some pictures of Gambit kind of turning his dark turn there in the black and gray, which is awesome. Stuart saves the universe, fails to save the universe. This is on HBO. It's a spin-off of The Big Bang Theory. If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory, you're going to love this. If you're just a fan of multiversal fuckery, you're going to love this. It's basically 4 characters from The Big Bang Theory who nobody really knows much about. They're kind of background characters. One of the guys, the main guy in this, is the comic book store owner. But the multiverse has been fucked up by Leonard and Sheldon. And Stuart, who is the main character, another version of himself comes from another universe and tells him, you need to use this machine. He gives him a machine. You need to use this machine to travel the multiverse and get everything back to normal. And every episode, he goes into a new universe. Like, for example, this last episode, in episode 3, he goes to a universe where everybody is magical, has magic. It's a world where it has magic. And I know one of the universes is the DC universe, so they're actually going into other universes as well, because they've shown, I believe, Mr. Freeze in that universe. So it's going to be interesting how they tackle other IP in this as well, because he is a comic book store owner, so they're going to bring that into the show, which is awesome. We had some cameos from Big Bang Theory. Kaylee Cuoco was in this. Bernadette was in this last episode. Yeah, it's just kind of cool cameos. If you watched all the seasons of the Big Bang Theory, you're going to appreciate. So overall, it's great. It's on HBO. It airs every Thursday night. If you want to watch it, I don't know how many episodes there are. There's 3 so far, but it's on HBO Max if you want to watch it. So it's really, really good. And another show, which I'm so glad we're watching, but I realized we only have like 3 episodes left, which sucks. Dark Side of the Ring has been awesome this year. Last week's episode was fantastic with the Big Boss Man. I only knew half of his career. I know you grew up in the first half. I grew up later on, and I didn't see him until WrestleMania 15 when he got hung in the ring in the Hell in the Cell with Undertaker. But you knew him way back in the early 90s when he was the police officer, and he had the nightstick and handcuffs and all that. Talked about his story. He died very young. And he was another guy that died of drugs. It was just drugs. That whole generation of wrestlers that I grew up with, that you grew up with, that whole generation died off in the early 40s, late 30s. Mr. Perfect, him, just a whole bunch. Test ended up dying from drugs because they were all given painkillers for all the pain that they were in, and they were of course abusing him because they were in so much pain and they didn't really realize it, but. That episode was great. This episode, I didn't know anything about the Renegade in WCW, but he was a Ultimate Warrior ripoff. Arn Anderson had a great scene in this talking about swinging dicks in Boston, Massachusetts, because I guess the Renegade was a stripper of some sorts and they became a wrestler. And then they gave him a gimmick that was very reminiscent of the Ultimate Warrior. To the point where the Ultimate Warrior was a bad wrestler, so was he. So yeah, it was a great episode. Dark Side of the Ring, not on Hulu yet, but if you want to watch them, you can buy the episodes individually. It's on Vice as well, and I believe they're posting all the episodes on YouTube. If you do want to watch this new season, but so far so good. And I think we only got 3 episodes left, and next week is Paul Orndorff. So we'll get into that next week. I'm sure you haven't watched this yet, but I know we watched season 1 of Batman Caped Crusader.
Yes.
Season two did come out, and since we had a couple weeks off, I did watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. Some of the villains, these are the kind of names of the episodes here. That's a poster for it. Some of the villains that were shown in this season. You got, of course, the main focus of the season was the Joker. You got Solomon Grundy. You got Mr. Zero, was the very first name in the comic books of Mr. Freeze. You got a version of him in this. You've got another version of the Mad Hatter called Maddie Hatter. She's a female version, but she's not really mad. She's not really crazy like the Mad Hatter was in the comics and in the animated series. Another version of Poison Ivy that doesn't control plants, but she knows how to use the poison to kind of kill people. We also see another version of the Scarecrow, but this time he kind of has. If you see the picture of the fire on the left, he has one of those weird like Renaissance masks. He wears that, and he terrifies people with that when the toxin and all that. That's part of this. The Riddler, not really a Riddler. He uses a question mark to put on things, but he's more of a mobster in this. Also, you see a guy with a rocket, almost looks like the Rocketeer. Some other parts of it were pretty good, but you get another Kathy Kelly, whatever her name is, a little girl, Robin, from Dark Knight Returns. She's in this as well. Man Bat, you see that in the Scarecrow episode. So overall, I love how they take these characters you're so used to seeing in other forms and reinvents them. I love that. Overall, loved it. And I'm not sure if it's going to be picked up for a season 3. I think this is kind of one of those late things right between when James Gunn was taking over. So I'm not sure if they're going to want to continue this series.
How was the guy from House of the Dragon as the Joker?
Oh, that was the other thing I was going to mention. Fucking fantastic.
Okay, awesome.
Incredible.
I'm going to check this out. I'm going to start
Yep.
it tonight. It's been a really busy week. I want to watch some of it
Yeah,
tonight.
he's great. And the guy who plays Batman is Hamish. I can't remember. Linkletter, I think.
Yep.
He's in a Mike Flanagan. He's on those Mike Flanagan. He's in those Mike Flanagan Netflix House on Haunted Hill.
Okay.
He's like one of the stars of that. He's in a whole bunch of stuff. If you saw him, you'd recognize him immediately. He's in a whole bunch of shit. He's great as Batman. Great as Bruce Wayne. This is kind of a spiritual continuation of the animated series from the 90s, but going even further into the noir, going even further into the 1930s, which the 90s did perfectly, but this even goes deeper into that, to the point where the Joker is more like the man who laughs rather than a funny, joking, laughing all the time character. He does introduce a toxin in this that makes people laugh, which is kind of cool. The last 2 episodes are fantastic because it all has to deal with the Joker.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, very, very much worth watching. And it's very good. That's on Amazon Prime. and a return of sorts. Something we never thought we'd see, but Ted Lasso season 4 returned. Do you have a chance to see the premiere?
No, I don't know how I feel about this. I think it ended well. It's tough for me to go back when I don't know. It's like Toy Story 4. I didn't care for watching Toy Story 4 because of it.
A lot of people are going back. I smiled this whole episode. I was so fucking happy it was back. I loved it from beginning to end, and I wanted more. A lot of people are hit and miss on it with the same thing that you just said.
I'm sure it's good.
It ended.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I loved the ending of it.
A lot of people are saying it's a rehash, nothing original, this and that, just telling another story with just this time a female team, which is basically what they're doing. But the humor is still there, and I love the characters. So I was very excited to see. I like I said, I had a smile on my face the whole time I was watching it. So it was very good. Only one episode so far on Apple TV. That airs every Tuesday night, I believe. So yeah, worth watching if you're into Ted Lasso. So glad it's back. Quickly going into a couple movies I watched. Watched The Dink with Jake Johnson, Apple TV exclusive movie. All about pickleball. Him, Mary Steenburgen, Ben Stiller had a cameo in it. Ed Harris plays Jake Johnson's father. About a down and out tennis player who ends up working at his father's tennis club. He's a loser in his 40s, and he decides to play pickleball to show everybody that he's awesome at any sport. It's very much like Dodgeball, very much like Happy Gilmore, very much like any of those type of sports comedy movies, to the point where Ben Stiller, I think, produced it or maybe even directed it. I'm not sure, but it's on Apple TV. If you want to watch it, probably like a 3.5 out of 4 and 5. That may be generous, 3.5 out of 5. But yeah, it's on Apple TV called The Dink. A terrific documentary, which is very hard to watch if you love Stan Lee. But I did watch Stan Lee, the final chapter, talking about his last couple of years of life, and being abused by the people around him, as far as them kind of treating him like cattle and bringing people in to sign autographs and take pictures with him. I was part of that. I have a picture with Stan Lee during this time. In fact, the movie starts off in Boston Comic Con, the one that I was sitting in the audience watching him. I was actually paused a few times to see if I could see myself in the audience. I didn't. But overall, I love Stan Lee. I hate to see it like this. There's police presence in this. There's a lot of the people around him were abusing him. As far as there's this guy named Max was making him sign every little fucking thing. You could tell that he was taking all the money. And Stan's like, "Where's the money? How much am I getting for this?" Because he realizes he's working his ass off, but he doesn't really have anything to show for it. He's in the 90s, kind of getting slower and slower. He doesn't really want to fight it, but he's just doing it to please Max. It's a crazy story, worth watching if you love Stan, just to see Stan again. But it does suck to see how bad everything turned out. But the big movie we're going to review this week, one of the big movies that we're going to review at least, was the Odyssey. We both saw it while we were away. Opened up second week, 87 million. So not too shabby for a second week. Overall, I didn't read the Odyssey in school. I don't know if you did or not. I did not.
You didn't what?
I didn't read the Odyssey in school. Oh. And I don't think it was part of our curriculum.
I did not in school.
No, I didn't read it anywhere.
I think I read it or I did something with it after high school, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read it. So I had no idea other than what I knew about Troy just in recent years and what we talked about when we watched Troy. But overall, it's a fantastic movie. Visually stunning. I can imagine what it would look like on IMAX. Visually stunning movie. And of course, it's Nolan. So you know it's going to be great as far as the storytelling aspect's concerned. And the big reveal at the end and all that is awesome. The dramatic turn. Overall, 4.5 out of 5. And it's probably in the top 3 of my favorite movies of the year. Visually.
It's it's not my favorite of the year. I don't see myself going back to this movie, which is probably the first time I can say that about a Nolan film. I'm definitely gonna get the 4K and rewatch it, but I don't think it's gonna be as rewatchable as a lot of like it's got the Prestige on 4K, and I fucking love that movie. That's still my favorite Nolan movie. But it was a fantastic movie, so well shot. It's a good story. Everyone acted their asses off. We got to see the guy that played or was supposed to play Kratos. training Tom Holland.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool because I fucking love that
Yep.
actor. Like, there was every single actor, like every single person in this movie, like even all the background people, I was like, hey, it's that guy or whatever. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So, but I don't know if it's that entirely rewatchable. But I can't wait to
Right.
get the 4K because I'm sure the Steelbook will be awesome.
I think it's because of the length too. It's almost 3 hours.
Right. Like I love Oppenheimer,
was-
and I
it was-
only rewatched that once. When I got the 4K,
I haven't
so-
rewatched. I haven't
Exactly.
rewatched it. I wasn't a huge fan of it to begin with. I'm a huge fan of this. So I wasn't a huge fan of Oppenheimer. Yesterday hit $1 billion. Took it 2 weeks to do that. It took Spider-Man 3 days to get to $1 billion, and that's the next movie we're going to talk about. You have not watched it, so what do you know? Spoilers for anything you've heard since the movie came out. What do you know about?
The only thing I know
spoilers?
is exactly what we knew when Sadie Sink was cast, that she's Jean Grey and she's the villain.
Okay,
That's
then
the only thing I know.
That's the only thing I'm going to be spoiling in the notes here. So
Okay, good.
there's nothing that you don't know, that you haven't seen the movie, and we can talk about it. Do you not take your headphones off? I wasn't going to spoil it anyway.
Everybody fucking knew that. I mean, nobody knew she was the villain,
Right.
but everyone had an idea that she could be the villain. So,
And before we get into the review, that's my biggest problem with this. How the hell did Endgame go tight wrapped in secret? Yet everything since then has been spoiled from the very beginning. I don't
There's
think
more
Endgame
scoopers.
plot. Yeah, Endgame plot points did not get out at all. We went to the theater that night. It was a surprise. It was a time travel movie. It was a surprise. Everything that Tony Stark died, everything about that movie was a surprise. We know the whole plot of Spider-Man. We've been talking about it for the last 2 months. We've known about it for the last 6 months. So going into that, I love the movie. A lot of people love the movie. Not the best Spider-Man movie of them all, though. Of course, Spider-Man 2 is the best movie. Tobey Maguire. Nothing has ever touched that.
I like Homecoming a lot.
As far as the Tom Holland movies, I don't even think it's the best Tom Holland movie. But the biggest character of this movie is New York City, and we'll get into that in a minute. I love how they depict him as the hero of New York. We'll get into that. But first off, talk about some aspects behind the scenes. Rosario Dawson, a couple of days before the movie premiered, talked about how she filmed the scene as the night nurse from the Daredevil series. She filmed the scene as a night nurse. And if you've seen the movie, you haven't seen it, but there's a point in the movie where Spider-Man is in a hospital at the very, very end. And she was going to be the one that kind of protects his identity in the hospital, and they deleted that scene. She's not in the movie. But I don't know if they're going to recut it in or later on, because now that it's news or not, because it would have been cool to see, because in that scene also is the Punisher. So it would have been cool to see them return together, but did not happen. It was cut on this cutting room floor. I'm wondering what else was cut from this movie, because there are a lot of quick scenes that I wonder if it would have been better if there's an extended cut of this movie. But Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, whatever his name is, said there was an early cut of Spider-Man Brand New Day that they absolutely hated, and I think it had to do a lot with the Man Spider. But by the way it sounds, they were doing a lot of fan service for it, and that's kind of, once they realized that, they're like, where's the heart of the movie? So they ended up changing it, and it's what we ended up getting with Destin. And I think they brought in the writer of the Challenger, to come in, kind of beef up the script a little bit too, if I remember correctly. So movie tonally is very much a movie about loneliness. Spider-Man's alone, has no friends, of course. Everybody forgot he was Peter Parker, forgot who Peter Parker was. So he's alone in this world as Spider-Man for a very, very long time. 4 years alone in New York City, almost 5 years, is a long time to be alone and have no friends, no family, and just be Spider-Man. And you have a lot of people loving you, but you can't love yourself when you don't have that family and that friend dynamic keeping you together. And that's what the basic part of this movie, that's where the heart of this movie is. Where else do I want to talk about? Tom Holland pitched an idea for the Man Spider transformation. They explored sequences of nightmares, but they thought it would have been too much for children, and they wanted to make it a children movie, which sucks because it would have been awesome. They did it in the '94 series. I think they could have figured out a way to do it in a cool way in this movie. They kind of tackled it a little bit with the eyes changing black, which you've seen in the trailers, this and that and so forth. But the other thing that was missing from this movie was Bruce Banner. I was really hoping that Bruce... Oh, there's a posters for the movie. I was really hoping that Bruce Banner and the Hulk would know who Spider-Man was. Because in the comic books, when Brand New Day happens, the only person that knows that he's Peter Parker still is the Hulk. When he transforms from Bruce Banner, and Bruce Banner doesn't know he's Spider-Man, but the Hulk does. That didn't happen in the movie. I'm kind of wishing it did. It would have brought a whole new aspect to the movie. That there is one hope. There is one person in the world who knows who he is. But still, it made it feel like Peter was even more lonely, which was kind of sad at the end. But the whole Jackie Chan's team stuntman thing. Jackie Chan did not work on the movie. That was all a fake story. But he did visit the set. That's kind of where the rumors took hand. Stunts were handled by the guy who did the Shang-Chi movie. So the other couple of cameos in the movie to keep an eye out when you see it, because I didn't see him the first time. There is a B Rabbit from 8 Mile poster in the background when Spider-Man gets hit by Frank Castle's van in the beginning of the movie. You can see B Rabbit there from the Amazing Spider-Man comic book that he was on the cover with Eminem. Also in the dumpster next to Spider-Man when he's in the alley testing out his webbing, you see a poster of Mayor Fisk from the Daredevil Born Again series on the dumpster. I did not see that when I was in the theater the first time. Keep an eye out on that when you see it. What else we got? And Kevin Feige also suggested that Kingpin appearing in Spider-Man movie isn't as complicated as fans and Vincent D'Onofrio has said it was. He didn't go any further into that, but it seems like it can happen, which would be awesome to see him going one-on-one against Spider-Man. So, and Tom Holland confirms that Sony was planning to merge the worlds of the Spider-Man spin-off universe into the MCU, into his universe. But when the movies were terrible and they just didn't work out, it kind of got off the table. And of course, that was more news that came out of that this week, where I think Tim Rothman, the CEO or the president of Sony Pictures, said that those movies are all done. All the spin-off movies, all the solo movies are all done because they just didn't perform well. Nobody wanted to see them because everybody wants to see Spider-Man. And I think this week proved it for sure. And Kevin Feige has hope that Spider-Man and Venom will finally meet in the MCU. And this movie sets it up awesome. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But Tom Holland speaks on his Spider-Man getting a black symbiote suit. He said they did it so well in the game, which they did. He doesn't know how to make that suit work without having a CGI component, which is right. But there are a lot of ways. If they brought somebody in like Sam Raimi or somebody that knows how to do horror, body horror, or anything like that, there are ways to do that practically and make the suit look awesome, make the effects of the goo and everything, the symbiote suit look awesome. And there are ways to do that. Just old school tech and everything. And it will have to be CGI of some sort, but that's what this is all leading to. And we'll talk about this character called Police Chief Jean DeWolf. There is a very tragic scene right out of like the movie Seven from the 80s called The Death of Jean DeWolf. There's a whole comic of it I want to get. Jean DeWolf, played by, I don't remember her name in The Bear, but she's the police officer in this movie. What's her? You know the Spanish lady that's in The Bear. She works in the kitchen. I don't remember her name. In the show.
The one we thought
she's
was
married to
Miles'
Batista.
mother. Yeah,
she's married to Batista in real life.
Mm-hmm. Well,
she plays Jean DeWolf, who is a police officer. She's not Miles' mother. In the comics, she's a friend of Spider-Man. In the comics, just like the show, in the last 4 years, or just like the movie, I mean, in the last 4 years, she's become friends with Spider-Man. In the comic book, she is murdered in the line of duty by a supervillain. And a Daily Bugle reporter named Eddie Brock writes an article, and a fake article saying who the killer is, and Spider-Man realizes it's not true, and kind of proves that it's not true, and ends Eddie Brock's career as a reporter, saying that he posts false information. And ever since then, he hates Peter Parker. When he ends up getting the Venom suit, he hates Spider-Man. So for me and for a lot of people, since this movie's been out, that is the seeds for where this series is going to be going. Probably, I would say the next movie, maybe even I could see Daredevil doing this, the death of Jean DeWolf. I'm not sure how far that'll go or not, but the whole Eddie Brock writing a fake story is right out of the animated series from the 90s. Of course, right in the comic books, that's how he gets fired. Pissed off at Spider-Man, turns into Venom, and then he has a vendetta against him the whole entire run as Venom and Eddie Brock. And going against Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So, seeking revenge for his life falling apart, pretty much. So, Tom Holland says there already are plans for him to pass the mantle to Miles Morales. They have a clear vision of passing the baton, and he thinks it's very exciting. He keeps talking about that he wants to do what Downey did for him. He wants to do for the next character playing Spider-Man. Yeah, he's been a lot. And speaking in the last couple of weeks, he's been very loving about playing the character of Spider-Man. But you kind of can tell he's been doing it for over 10 years now. I think he auditioned in 2015, so he's been one of the longest members of the MCU. Him, Thor, Captain America, I think some of the longest ones here so far. Scene right out of the comic books here: Punisher going into a hospital carrying a battered Spider-Man. There's Venom. That's the Jean DeWolf murder scene from the comics. And that's Venom talking about writing the article and getting fired from the Daily Bugle or the other newspaper. I can't remember which one it was. But there's a scene right out of the comics from the movie of Punisher holding Spider-Man going into the hospital. Keep an eye out for that. The other thing is we see Cindy Moon again. Cindy Moon, who's in Homecoming. She was in Avengers Endgame. And she is Silk in the comic books, who is another Spider-Woman. And Cindy first appeared in Homecoming. She was in the bus in Infinity War. I believe she was in the last one too. Far From Home or No Way Home. I can't remember which one. But yeah, Silk has kind of a love story with Spider-Man in the comics too. So I don't know if that's going to play out or not, but they did put her in this movie talking to Bruce Banner in the classroom. Keep an eye out on that. And the post-credit scene, did you hear anything about that?
I did not.
Do you want to know about this? It's not really much. It's going to be disappointing in the theaters. I can tell you right now.
No, go for it.
For a lot of people. We talked about it before, where Ned creates this app that tracks Spider-Man, and people in the city of New York can track where Spider-Man is in the city. And the very last scene in the movie, after the credits roll, you see the app open up on a phone. And on the phone, it shows Peter Parker in New York City with a whole bunch of people around him. And then there's kind of a twitch in the app, like a magnetic force or something is messing with the electronics in the app. The app goes into space. You see, it goes far, far, far into space. And they say, new sighting spotted, location found in deep space. Setting up, I guess, Doomsday or Secret Wars. Who knows? I don't know why there would be another Spider-Man in space. I don't think it's the one in New York City, because the one in New York City is still in New York City as far as the app's concerned. It just kind of moved over into space. So I don't know. A lot of people are speculating. Don't have any idea about it. We know incursions are worlds going into each other, but not usually from space. It's kind of weird how that works, but supposedly this will be answered in the next year or two. So a lot of Marvel news we'll talk about coming up, but this is kind of the beginning of it. I will say I love this movie. It broke a whole bunch of records, continued to break a whole bunch of records today. Broke the Thursday preview night record of 75 million domestically. Avengers had that record for 60 million. They broke it for 75. And it had a opening, biggest opening day of all time with 168 million. And the weekend overall was estimated to be 335, number 2 behind Endgame. But then later on Monday, the number went up. Ended up being the highest grossing movie weekend of all time. 362, I believe. Or did I have it? I know I have it here somewhere. 360. So it beat it by 3 million, which is kind of crazy for a Spider-Man solo movie. But everybody loves Spider-Man. That's why. And I know I have more here. 927 million opening worldwide. Second biggest of all time, right behind Endgame is 1.22 billion. I don't want to get into all that. And it was announced yesterday. Is officially domestic gross of 508 million on Thursday, making it the quickest movie to pass 500 million milestone in the box office, making it the highest grossing first week in domestic box office history. Incredible for this movie. Everybody loves it. The scores are crazy compared to what it is. I would say I've been sticking between a 4 and a 4.5. I've seen it twice. I think 4.5 is pretty good. And I love it. I'm going to see it again probably. And once it comes out on digital, I'll probably watch it a lot too. Has a lot of heart, a lot of soul to it. And if you've ever been lonely, if you ever feel alone, this plays that perfectly. You feel Peter's pain. The whole thing that happens with MJ and Ned in this movie, I can't wait for you to see it. The very last scene of this movie is fucking incredible. There's memes if you've seen them. There's gifs. I'm sure. I don't know what you've seen, what you haven't seen, but very last scene of this movie is fucking awesome. Yeah, it's great. 4.5. I'm gonna stick with a 4.5 out of 5. Maybe being generous because I love Spider-Man so much. It's my favorite comic book character. Favorite villain's Venom, so it's right up there. The whole story with Venom. So yeah, great movie. Can't wait for you to see it. We'll talk about it when you do. But yeah, it's awesome. And I cannot wait to see what happens next with Spider-Man, because on paper, what's gonna happen is Secret Wars, and hopefully the Venom symbiote. If we know it's on Earth, Tom Hardy left at the end of No Way Home, so hopefully we see that. Spoiler: it did not show up in this movie. Don't want you to look forward to that, but hopefully we'll see that in Secret Wars. So lots to talk about San Diego Comic-Con. I'm trying to get through it quickly because it happened a week and a half ago. Here's some pictures of the first thing we're going to talk about is Green Lantern Lanterns. Comes out next week. Very excited for it. So I think we talked about the trailer right the end of last. It came out like the day of when we were. Our last
it came out right
recorded.
after we were off. Yeah.
Oh, my foot's killing me. But we see Sinestro. We see, of course, Guy Gardner. We see Hal Jordan. We also see Laura Linney, who's going to be playing a member of the Guardians of the Universe in Lanterns. That's our human form there. And they're short, balding people who control the power rings, control everything that has to do with the Lantern Corps. And she's going to be a part of it. And she's going to be on Earth kind of mentoring John Stewart through his journey to become the Green Lantern. Yeah, cannot wait for the show. And the trailer looked awesome. Wanted to bring that up. Here's the behind-the-scenes look of the cast. At Comic-Con, taking pictures with the Power Ring and together, and just looks awesome. The ensemble looks awesome. Cannot wait. X-Men 97, they were handing out tarot cards with Gambit and Rogue. Looked awesome. They're going to be doing a season 3 of that, and rumors came out this week they're doing a season 4 as well. It's begun development. Rings of Power, they had a trailer. They had a thing showing for that as well. Rings of Power season 3 premiering November 11th. Each week is going to be having 2 episodes. I believe the first week is going to have 4 episodes, so it's only going to be airing for 3 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving. Rings of Power, I love that series, but I hate that they're doing that because, 2 episodes isn't bad, but the premiere of 4 episodes is quite a bit to be watching in 1 week. So we'll see. I think there's one more season after this as far as what they want to tell. Big, huge time jump too. And I believe the first episode is going to be like an epilogue, talking about the time that's passed between the last season and this one and what's happened so far. So, I cannot wait. I do like that series. So, I also got a picture of the Balrog versus Sauron. It looked really cool. Of course, doing the voices of the Balrog is Simon Pegg. So, got some Funko Pops. I'm thinking you're really excited about this. The Absolute Batman, Absolute Joker, Absolute Brainiac, and Absolute Superman. Yeah. Also an Ozzy Osbourne in the throne from last year. Awesome. Some other figures are seen on the floor. We got the Matrix scene with the Agent Smiths and Trinity. We got some Batman figures with the Penguin and all the faces and the penguins. And we also got a very cool looking Bruce Wayne from, I believe, the first Batman movie with the Joker on the screens. And all the screen actually play video, which looked kind of cool. I'm not sure if that's Hot Toys or what that is, but it looked cool. Another trailer came out for a movie called Neuromancer. It's coming out on Apple TV or it's series. I'm not really sure, but it looked cool. Reminded me of like The Matrix and a whole bunch of like thrillers like that. So yeah, keep an eye on that. And the other big panel that happened before we get into the Marvel news, Rick Moranis shows up, gets a huge raving standing ovation. And the whole cast of Spaceballs 2 comes out. kind of parodying the whole multiverse and Phase 10, Phase 0, Phase 7, Phase 4, Phase 4 question mark. So
Did you see the Zack Snyder
making
thing?
a joke of that.
People were, yeah,
yes, yeah, I saw,
yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's that whole side of the
I can't wait
fandom
for the
is
movie.
insane. Me too. I'm actually looking
Yeah,
forward to it. I'm not even a huge fan of the first Spaceballs, but I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I can't wait. Oh, I forgot about this. We got to talk about it. One of the worst trailers, one of the worst movie concepts I've ever seen. The Matchbox movie starring John Cena. Oh my god, this is one of the worst things I think I've ever seen as far as the trailer is concerned. It's not really a Matchbox about the Matchbox cars. It's about these kids who played Matchbox cars when they were kids, but they're doing stuff as adults, reminiscing about playing Matchbox cars when they were kids. But I think John Cena is like a special agent. I don't even remember. I was so pissed off when I saw the trailer.
Everything, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in everything. He's going to be in Acme versus Coyote versus Acme next week.
Whatever that was filmed like 4 years. That was filmed what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah. Brand new trailer for Carrie played as well. Looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Flanagan coming out on October 7th on Amazon Prime. We're getting that, and we're getting Crystal Lake the same month. That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the reason why this probably happened is probably because of it. The horror television thing from movies of the past is kind of a big deal right now. But the big thing at Comic-Con was Doomsday, was Marvel. They actually showed off the full costume of Doctor Doom on the last day. And the panel on Saturday, you saw Herbie coming out to the audience. They were about 30 minutes late. Herbie came out and tried to warm up the audience before Kevin Feige ended up coming on stage. And two big reveals happened. The first one started the show. You heard a motorcycle revving up behind the scenes in Hall H. And the first thing that was announced was that they are making a Ghost Rider movie. And Ryan Gosling is going to be playing a version of Ghost Rider, which we're not sure which one he's playing. Comes out in theaters in 2028, sometime in 2028. Sean Levy directing that. He just directed him in the new Star Wars movie that comes out next year. So they brought him in to do that. And he also did Deadpool Wolverine. So coming back to Marvel. They also talked about Doomsday. Robert Downey was there. Pretty much the main cast was there. Deadpool came out in a gray Deadpool, which was called Jean Grey. Was the actual color of it was made out of jeans. It was gray. And Pedro Pascal talked that Doom and Reed have a history in Avengers Doomsday, which is the first time that's ever been acknowledged. So, like we've been saying for a while, Doom must come from Pedro Pascal's universe then. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And they have a rivalry. It's confirmed in new footage that was shown at San Diego Comic-Con. And Victor was always the smartest guy in every room. He used to be different. He used to be kind. He used to be caring. But then everything he loved and was taken from him, I knew he was lost, but I did not realize he was broken. That was Sue Storm in that trailer. And Namor and Sue Storm are going to have an argument, and they have to work together to solve a task. Of course, in the comic books, they kind of have a love-hate relationship, and he loves her, falls in love with her deeply. The Russo brothers were asked if Avengers Doomsday will reveal what happened to Jean Grey, Storm, and Rogue. Because we haven't seen them in any promotions from the 2000s Bryan Singer movies. They won't answer that specifically on the red carpet or whatever it was after, but they do have plans to feed into the movie in a very meaningful way. I'm guessing they probably died off screen, but who knows? And Chris Evans says he received at least a dozen pitches to return as Steve Rogers in the MCU, based on the tease of what happened at the end. But it didn't until this was brought to him. He didn't really want to return until he got the idea for Doomsday. Here is a new poster for Doom and Doctor Doom and Doomsday, the whole cast on the stage. Very excited for that. And the ended the panel. We thought that was going to be it. Ended the panel with another exclusive, something that we knew was going to happen. Black Panther 3, but we did not know they were going to recast Black Panther. They did, with an actor that you have been talking about for a very long time. Alien Romulus, you brought him to my attention.
Well, he's the son, right? He's not actually Black Panther.
He's going to be playing T'Challa 2 and a time jump, which makes me think he comes from another universe in Battle World when Secret Wars happens. But T'Challa 2, David Johnson has joined the cast, and he's going to be playing T'Challa 2 older. Of course, he's in his, I think, late 20s. T'Challa 2 is 9 at the end of Wakanda Forever. So there's going to be a big, huge time jump there. The movie comes out December 15th of 2028, 2 years. And David Johnson, of course, Romulus, he was in The Long Walk. Another movie I'm going to recommend, I watched it, very short movie, romantic comedy called Rye Lane, I believe. It's a British romantic comedy. It's fucking fantastic in that movie. I just watched it this week. I have it on my Plex if you want to watch it, Kevin.
Okay.
He's great in it. Yeah, you've been on the David Johnson train. I'm going to say that from the very beginning. Just like the Kanye train, you've been on the David Johnson train from the very beginning. So cannot wait to see what he does in the Black Panther role. As he kind of looks like Chadwick Boseman, so it's kind of awesome that they cast him. So great choice in my opinion. So with that being said, let's jump into the news. And it's not a news segment without the trailer roundup. A new TV series, I believe, coming out. No, it's a movie coming out in January of 2027 called Children of Blood and Bone. Has a huge all-star cast. Has Viola Davis, Cynthia Erivo, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Idris Elba, Amanda Steinberg, Damon Idris, who they thought he was going to be playing T'Challa too, but he didn't end up being cast in Black Panther. A lot of people wanted him to. Looks great. Has magic. Reminds me a lot of Black Panther and African culture and all that stuff. But it has magic built into it as well. Looked really good. The trailer looked awesome. Gonna keep my eye on that. Probably should watch that in the new year. What else we got? Jumanji Open World. Supposedly the final movie of the Jumanji world, where the Jumanji world comes back into Vermont or wherever they are. I don't know where they are in this new universe, but brand new trailers finally, because it comes out next week for Reacher and Neely. Reacher comes out on August 12th. Neely comes out on September 16th. So next week we'll talk about Reacher. Cannot wait for that. Also joining the cast, who I fucking love, is Jay Bernthal, Kevin Durant, who are awesome. I don't know the other two, but Jay Bernthal is one of my favorite comedic actors. Canadian actor, of course. He's in Superbad. Is one of my favorite show of all time, Undeclared. So
that guy just doesn't age.
He doesn't age, no. He's probably the same age as Seth Rogen. They started about the same time. So, and another trailer for another movie coming out, a remake with directed by Michael B. Jordan, starring Michael B. Jordan. The Thomas Crown Affair being remade by him. Comes out March 5th, and the movie and the trailer looks awesome. It's definitely up there with kind of looks like Bond. Wasn't Pierce Brosnan in the original, remake?
Well, the original remake, yeah.
Yep, the original remake came out in the 90s, or 2000s. I don't remember when that came out, but yeah, he directed it. Michael B. Jordan. He's going to be starring in it. Very much Bond-esque. Looks awesome. So cannot wait for that. This movie is fucking wild. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it or heard about it, but it's a movie called Wicker. And it's about Olivia Colman plays this woman that lives in a village who's lonely, and asks a basket maker played by Peter Dinklage to make her a lover made out of a wicker basket, pretty much. And the wicker basket lover, when he turns into a human, is played by Alexander Skarsgård. In the trailer, it's an R-rated trailer. She has sex with the wicker throughout the whole entire end of this trailer.
Interesting.
It's fucking bonkers. I don't know when the movie comes out. It doesn't say on in the poster, but holy fuck, is it crazy looking. Olivia Colman, of course, Alexander Skarsgård, Peter Dinklage. Keep an eye on that, even though it looks fucking weird. We got news about Mahershala Ali. We'll get into at the end, but trailer for Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother. He did a lot of training to be Blade. He used that training to be an assassin in this movie. I believe he's like a priest or somebody who works in the church and becomes a kind of an assassin or a bounty hunter or something of sorts. Other than that, comes out September 25th. I don't know much more about it. Or it comes out in select theaters September 25th and theaters everywhere in October. So it looks good. I love Mahershala, so keep an eye on that. Small trailer came out yesterday for the Madden movie coming out on Amazon Prime in November. I think it was November 18th is the official date now. And Nicolas Cage was talking about that. Looks good. Brand new trailer for Violent Night 2. We were very high on Violent Night 1. Kind of brought in a Norse mythos to Santa Claus. And this goes further deeper into that. And Santa Claus loses his Santa powers, goes on the naughty list, and has to run and has to hide from bad guys. And in the movie, he's saved by his wife, played by Kristen Bell, from Frozen and from a whole bunch of other stuff. And she plays Mrs. Claus and has to save him. Trailer looked awesome. Cannot wait. But my favorite trailer of the week, and Robert Pattinson, one of the best parts of the Odyssey. We didn't even talk about that in the review. Fucking
this
incredible.
movie looks awesome.
The movie looks awesome. He looks awesome in it. The meme coming from the Odyssey, get these beggars out of here. One of the best scenes of the movie, but one of the best memes, I think, since I'm going to make a name for myself with Gambit from 2 years ago. One of the best memes in a long time. But Primetime, Robert Pattinson, all about Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator, comes out, A24 movie comes out on September 25th. And all the controversies of that and how they caught a lot of predators and how it was always looked upon by certain people as being kind of inhumane, I guess, even though these people are trash. So yeah, it looks fucking great though. His acting in this looks awesome. So I cannot wait to see this. Get into the news. Rest in peace to, you don't know her name, Mary Rivera. She played Ned Lee's Nola in No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. She's the one that tells Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, to go and clean the webs off in the ceiling. She died this week. Rest in peace to her. If you're a fan of Mobster, if you're a fan of The Sopranos, if you're a fan of Goodfellas, you know Vincent Pastore, you know Big Pussy. He was in this Big Pussy in The Sopranos. Vincent Pastore passed away this week. Rest in peace to him. Just watched The Sopranos in the last 10 years. I love that show. I loved his character. He was only in the first 2 seasons. And then he ends up being an FBI informant. He has a wire and gets caught by Tony and everybody and gets killed and ends up swimming with the fishes at the end of that season. So spoiler alert if you haven't seen the show, but it's been out for 25 years almost. So rest in peace to Vincent Pastore. Get into the rest of the news. The Paramount and Warner Brothers merger is officially on hold in America. The merger will not move forward until June 1st of 2027 or until the courts provide a ruling on the lawsuits facing the merger from the states. All the local and everything that's kind of trying to block this lawsuit has put it on a standstill in America. But the UK has fully approved it this week. And I think it was yesterday, fully approved it. So it's okay overseas. It's been approved. But the biggest hurdle is America. Of course, it's in America, set in America. So that's the biggest hurdle. And I believe if after September, if every month it doesn't pass or every day it doesn't pass, they owe the board members $7 million, which is going to get very costly for them after a long period of time. And especially if you're waiting a year from now to pass.
Yeah, and it's going to be messy. And the whole thing is, so it goes to trial or whatever in March, right? So we're looking at early April, late March, possibly on a decision. Regardless of what the decision is going to be appealed more than likely.
Yep.
And by June 7th, David Zaslav can just say, you know what, no deal, and Paramount would owe him $7 billion.
Yep.
So there's that aspect. This could get messy. The thing that I'm concerned about is the fact that they can't greenlight shit for a year.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, but we'll always keep an eye on that. YouTube and Universal are going to be having a package deal for Peacock and the YouTube Premium streaming. And you buy YouTube Premium, or if you buy YouTube Premium, you're going to get Peacock for free. Which YouTube Premium I think is $15.90 a month. That's basically YouTube with no commercials, no commercials for the music. There's also a YouTube Lite, which I pay for $8.99 a month, which you do have commercials on music, but everything else is pretty much commercial free.
Do you still have Peacock?
I have Peacock through one of my subscriptions. I get it for free.
I got it. I got it for like $20 a year 2 years ago, and then I went to cancel it. And they said, well, how about we give it to you like half off? So I paid like $40 for the year.
Okay.
And so I still had I watched Psych on it. I actually like Peacock. I like Peacock a lot, and I
Yeah.
like Paramount a lot. Two
Yeah.
services not a lot of people have, but I think they're both excellent.
Yeah, streaming is definitely going down just because the price is going up for
Mhm.
everything, and the exclusivity sucks because you have to have 5 different streaming services to watch everything that you want to watch, especially if you're doing a podcast. So,
Mhm.
yeah. The big news that came out of Hollywood this week or last couple of weeks is Jared Leto. There's a documentary coming out, I believe, in the UK, and 10 women have come out saying that he sexually abused them, harassing them, sexual assault, so on and so forth. I don't know when the documentary comes out, but it's going to be on the BBC, and they're going to be 9 of them are going to be sharing their story out of the 10 in the public for the very first time. So keep an eye on that. And it's all criminal allegations, so who knows where that'll go. But yeah. Clueless, a movie from the 90s, a TV show from the 90s as well.
Mhm.
A official sequel is going to be happening starring Alicia Silverstone. About 20-30 years too late, but okay, coming out on Paramount Plus. I want to mention that. And I believe before we got off the last time, we talked about Kratos from God of
Yep.
War had to be recast. And Dave Bautista from wrestling, Dave Bautista, of course, Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy movies, is reportedly being in talks to star as Kratos, taking over the role, filming the scenes and filming the rest of the series that has not been filmed yet. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. We got the very first official cast of the British stage play of the Mad King from Game of Thrones. This is all of them right there. Oh no, that's Batista and Kratos. The Mad King stage play. We see King Ares, Rhaegar Targaryen, young Ned Stark. We know Jamie Lannister is going to have a huge part of that as well. So yeah, it sucks that that's a stage play, not a TV show or a movie. I think a movie would have been great, but because we won't see how this plays off. Because I kind of want to see how that plays off, but interesting. Martin, a show that was in the 90s, decided 20 years later, to make a sequel series based off Varnell Hill, was a side character on the show played by Tommy Davidson from The Living Color. Show comes out September 1st on Paramount Plus. 30 years after the show stopped airing, for some reason they're making this series. So I haven't seen Tommy Davidson in a very long time. Looks the same as he did back in the 90s. Martin Lawrence is going to be cameoing in that if you see the pictures on YouTube. So yeah, interesting. We got some posters, no trailer yet, but we got some posters for the 4th season of Monster on Netflix. This one tackling Lizzie Borden. Lizzie Borden happened in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Yep.
She murdered and hacked everybody in her I can't remember the whole poem. There's a whole poem about it. Comes out September 17th on Netflix. And I got some pictures of her right there, and of course Charlie Hunnam coming back to the series as well, of these monster movies. He was in the Ed Gein story last year. So yeah, there you go. Some brand new pictures for Dexter. No new trailer yet. Not even sure when the new season is coming out. They're saying October, November.
I heard October.
Yeah, October, November. I'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, some new pictures there. We got Quinn. We got police officer Harrison. So yeah, cannot wait. Love Dexter. I'm glad I got into it. I'm glad we're caught up on it now. So so we can watch this together.
You randomly started Dexter after hearing me talk about it for like years.
I did.
You're like, I wanted to surprise you, and I watched like 2 seasons in a week or something like that.
Yeah.
It's so addicting.
Yeah, great show. And you fall in love with those characters too, even though Dexter's fucking psychopath. But the English language Squid Game that was going to be fronted by Kate Blanchett, I believe. It was teased at the end of the last season of Squid Game. That's reportedly not happening on Netflix. Not sure why, but okay. David Fincher, he was going to be doing it. So for some reason they are not doing it, not moving forward. Don't know why. Joe Dirt getting an animated sequel. David Spade is going to reprise his role. I don't know why that's happening, but I wanted to mention that. Spaceship Earth TV series based on the Epcot attraction at Disney is going to be happening. They want to take every ride at Disney and make it a movie IP, I guess. So, yeah, the showrunner, the creator of the Minecraft movie, I guess, is set to serve as a showrunner. So I don't know. And Warhammer news. Warhammer 40,000, of course. Henry Cavill's biggest fan of that. He's going to be executive producing the animated series. And it's going to be a continuation of the Secret Level series. I believe it was on Amazon. He's going to be in charge of that. I believe starring in it as well. Mike Flanagan is now writing live. I guess it's live action. And he says Mike Flanagan's writing it too. And Henry Cavill confirms that he will star. And he confirmed that Mike Flanagan's writing it. So going into the movies, Werewolf, brand new poster. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Willem Dafoe, Lily Rose Depp. Cannot wait for that. Robert Eggers. Brand new posters for Coyote versus Acme, which opens in a couple weeks. Cannot wait for that. Trailers look awesome. Everybody has seen it says it looks awesome. It's awesome. So, Amazon MGM Studios is reportedly developing an animated Mad Hatter movie from Scott Mosier. If you know Scott Mosier, he helped produce Clerks with Kevin Smith. He directed the Grinch movie from 2018. And he's in talks to direct the Mad Hatter animated movie from Amazon MGM Studios. So obviously not connected to the Disney version, but wanted to mention that. And speaking of Disney, Disney has met Macaulay Culkin talking about a new Home Alone movie. What was the Home Alone pitch that he had years ago that you talked about? It sounded awesome with Macaulay
Stoned
Culkin.
Alone.
Oh, Stoned Alone. I don't think that's going to happen on Disney anytime soon.
I don't think so either.
But an adult Kevin from Home Alone,
Mm-hmm.
being the father figure, I could see that happening. Yeah, interesting. We'll have to wait and see on that. An Obsession star, Michael Johnston, who was great in that movie and reportedly going to be joining the cast of The New Mummy with Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser. That was announced earlier or later last week, and earlier this week, Kevin J. O'Connor and Oded Fehr are returning to the new Mummy movie as well. And they were in the first two Mummy movies. They were great in that movie. So we got almost the whole entire original cast of the first two Mummy movies returning. And I believe the guy in the red turban, I think he died in that movie. So interesting to see him come back. But yeah, I cannot wait. I love the Mummy. The first movie is awesome. Second movie was ruined by the Scorpion King, and the whole franchise was ruined after the third one. But third one's supposedly not canon to this. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Speaking of franchises, Gareth Edwards has jumped out of the Jurassic World Rebirth sequel that he was going to be directing over creative differences. So he's not going to be a part of that movie. I believe the whole entire cast of that movie is part of it. Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala is part of that cast. They've already signed deals to be a part of the sequel. So I wasn't a huge fan of that one. About 50-50, maybe even less than 50-50 on the Jurassic Park movies. So yeah, I don't know. It made official, I believe today or yesterday, Jim Carrey is going to be starring as George Jetson in the Jetsons movie. It's officially moving forward at Warner Brothers. Other than that, we don't know much about it. And we got a brand new cast look. They just started filming for Grown Ups 3. This is like what's the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Expendables? Yeah.
It's like Expendables of Adam Sandler movies. You got Adam Sandler, you got Chris Rock, David Spade, Kevin James, Rob Schneider, all of them joining forces. Rest in peace to Norm Macdonald, because he was part of those movies too. Had a funny scene in the first one. But yeah, started filming the third one. Interesting. We love the Michael movie. We love the Jafar Jackson playing Michael Jackson. And he has signed on to play in a movie called Supermax with Will Smith, an MGM Amazon movie. And other than that, no more details about it. But and they did announce that Michael 2 is planned to release sometime in late 2027 or early 2028. And they're going to be starting production sometime towards the end of this year or early of next year. So yeah, I cannot wait to see how they tackle the most controversial part of Michael's career and how they actually tackle it. If they sugarcoat it or not, or water it down. We'll have to wait and see. But some video game news of the week. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have an extended look of the gameplay of the game, exclusive to Netflix on August 27th. A lot of people are complaining about that because it's under a paywall. But if you want to watch, I mean, everybody has fucking Netflix. If you want to watch this, So first time to see some gameplay, actual gameplay of the game. It actually, you can be able to go on there at 3 p.m. on August 27th and watch gameplay of the game for the very first time. Not sure if that's going to be airing online eventually or another trailer is going to be coming out, but keep an eye on that if you're a fan of those games. And announced today or yesterday afternoon, Sam Neill's final film role is going to be The Legend of Zelda. He filmed the scene, no idea who he's playing. If I were to guess, he's probably playing the King of Hyrule, Zelda's father.
That's what I would guess, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Also joining the cast, Yvonne Strahovski, who was in Chuck, and Dichin Lachman, who is reportedly going to be playing Inca, right? Is that her name? Impa. From, of course, yeah, Impa. And announced today, Lydia Peckham. I don't know who that is or who she's playing. But Uli Lukutfafu, I don't know how to say his name. He is a New Zealand actor.
He looks like Young Rock.
Most
he looks
notably,
like The Rock when he debuted.
Most notably, he played the Young Rock in the Young Rock show that was on NBC. That's why he looks like that
in that photo. Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's exactly. I'm glad
Did you ever
caught
watch
that.
show? Did you ever watch
I did not see that show. No, I'm not sure if it's any good.
I might give it a spin sometime. Who knows?
Yeah, he produced it. He was in it, I believe. I know they had a lot of cameos from wrestling in there, but he is going to be playing Ganondorf, the villain of the movie, who's a huge character. I'm surprised the casting came out after the movie is already filmed. But yeah, this movie has been under wraps for quite a while. They've been keeping a lot of secrets about it. So very excited. I love Zelda. One of my most anticipated movies of next year if they don't fuck it up. I hope it's called Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time because jizz would be everywhere. Seriously. Not to get graphic, but everywhere. Get into some popcorn buckets. Harry Potter. Coming up with some popcorn buckets. Nimbus 2000 popcorn bucket. Hogwarts Express. Hogwarts Trunk popcorn container. Celebrating 25 years of Harry Potter on film. Popcorn buckets, of course, a huge moneymaker for theaters right now.
Yep.
And let's get into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
And you mentioned it earlier. I know you're very excited for it. One of your favorite movies. I guess
I love it back
movies.
in the day, yep. And
Hostel,
also,
you love it.
One of the few movies I don't own digitally. I never bought it digitally. I think I saw it so much back in the day. I never caught it on sale at any time. I never saw it for $4.99. So, yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
Does it come with the digital? Did you look it up? Did it come with the digital code and everything?
I think it does. They usually do with the steelbook. But
Yeah.
even if it doesn't, I don't really care because I can find it. I probably have it on a hard drive somewhere anyways, so I'm not sweating it.
We got some Funko Pops we're going to talk about. We got Michael Jordan holding up the 6 fingers for the 6 championships he won. We talked about Eddie Brock. First of all, we'll talk about the Halloween 2 Funko Pops with Michael Myers caught on fire there. Looks awesome. Eddie Brock holding the paper where he was fired with half of his body. Eddie Brock, half of the body symbiote. I need that figure in my life.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the first looks of some characters from Spider-Man Brand New Day, Scorpion, Tombstone, and the Winter Gear Spider-Man when he fought Scorpion in the movie. So looks great. Also got some concept art of what the Vision Quest figures for kind of the same half and half of Vision and the Robot Vision and the Robot Ultron and the Human Ultron. Also got some Funko Pops of the X-Men 97 characters from this past season. And the very first look reveal of a Lego set from the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic, set for $450, 3,491 pieces. So it's a huge set. Coming out with Lego. And speaking of Lego, during Comic-Con, these were released. I wanted to wait till the swag segment to confirm them. We got some new Legos of Avengers Doomsday. We got the scene in the trailer, they show the Sentinels being reborn at the X Mansion through Doomsday, through Doctor Doom. We see a Sentinel fighting the Avengers, the X-Men, with Doom controlling them in the background. We also see a Quinjet with Doctor Doom, I believe Mr. Sue Storm riding it, and the Thing fighting Doctor Doom. We also see an Avengers Tower with everybody there fighting Doctor Doom as well. So very first looks at those. We also got a Doctor Doom bust Lego figure with a minifigure as well. We got some Marvel Legends figures here with some brand new looks of those characters from the movie. We also got some Hot Toys Sideshow collectibles with Magneto, Gambit, and Scott Summers Cyclops. We've got Doctor Doom and Doctor Doom's throne here. And we've got we got some other pictures of Beast, Professor Xavier, and a Sentinel. I'm not sure what size Sentinel that is, but from the movie. I think these are Iron Studios. This is Doctor Doom, Magneto, and Professor Xavier. That's it for Doomsday stuff. McFarlane announced some DC multiverse stuff, deluxe theatrical editions of some figures. These look pretty
the Batman
cool.
one so bad.
The Batman, Robert Pattinson looks awesome. The Catwoman from the Batman Returns looks awesome as well. And of course the Dark Knight trilogy, Jim Gordon, played by what's his name? What's his name? I don't know. Name's blanking right now, but cannot wait for those. Look awesome. And a Neko figure coming out from Muppet Christmas Carol with Kermit and little kid Kermit. So I want to mention that. Speaking of the Batman 2, James Gunn did confirm that Batman 2 and the Batman 3 are not filming back to back. That was only an online rumor, and he denied that. Glad he's gone online to deny some stuff. He's been very quiet lately because he's currently filming, but I'm glad he's gone online to kind of swell some of these rumors. Speaking of rumors, Alan Richardson confirms conversation with DC about playing another character is happening, but not necessarily Batman, and it isn't Batman. He's saying it's not. So we'll see what happens with that. This Booster Gold news, Booster Gold beginning of the week, last week I believe it was canceled, no longer happening, and then they went back and said it is happening. So not sure about that, but
the writing team left, but they're still trying to do the show.
Right.
I think that's what basically is happening. Yeah.
Probably a delay on that. So who knows we're gonna see it. And James Gunn confirmed via Twitter that Blue Beetle, an animated series, is still happening, very much still in development. And joining the cast of the DC Universe Jimmy Olsen Superman series spin-off series is Mary Holland. No idea who she's playing, but she's gonna be playing opposite of Jimmy Olsen. Kid from.
You know how many people I saw be like, of course he cast his sister-in-law. She's not fucking related to his wife. Just getting that out there. Sorry, it's been a rough week every time I check Twitter. Fucking hate that app now.
You know, it's funny. I hate Twitter too, but I have to get it to get news for the show. Exactly. I can't get news on Facebook or anywhere else anymore.
Yeah, so I have most stuff muted, but like stuff like that will slip through on occasion. Yeah. So yeah, there's been a lot of Yeah, especially with Spider-Man doing so well and then being like, oh, but we're getting Jimmy Olsen. The same people who said Warner Brothers rushed to catch up with Marvel, and that's why Snyder didn't get a fair shot, now want DC to rush to catch up to Marvel. It's a whole thing. It's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Pay for Twitter. You can organize bookmarks.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you pay for it too. Oh, boy.
That's the only reason why I pay for it, because you know how many awesome recipes I've gotten that I just saved? I've gotten like 100 recipes that are fucking fantastic. I love my organized bookmarks.
I'm not on the recipe algorithm. I'm on the Naked Chick algorithm. I don't know why.
Oh, that slips through every now and then too.
Oh yeah. Getting into the Marvel news of the week, Wonder Man. It was renewed for a second season earlier in the year. It has officially been canceled and rescinded. So the second season of Wonder Man is not happening. Everybody kind of shocked everybody. The writer's room in the middle of writing it. Daniel Cretton, of course, just directed Brand New Day. He was producing that show. It shocked him as well. This is from the higher ups at Disney. It wasn't part of Marvel Studios.
I feel
Disney that decided.
I feel like they're slowly just gonna kill off all the Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah, I think Disney Plus is gonna go under for sure.
I don't think Disney Plus is gonna go under, but I'm saying like the Marvel stuff, they're gonna slow down and only put things on Disney Plus or make things for Disney Plus that are really special. They're not gonna just keep doing stuff like this because it has desensitized the brand. It stretched everything out for all the creatives, especially Kevin Feige. I think it's in concept, it was a great idea. WandaVision was great. There's been a couple really good things on it, but overall, I do think they need to slow down. We probably don't need a one-man season 2. Season 1 was fine.
That was great.
but-
One of the best reviewed things Marvel's had in a while. So, yeah, I feel the same. The only thing is, I kind of wish they would, like, even they're saying Daredevil Born Again season 3 will probably be the last two as far as that's concerned. You know why? It's because they're not making any money on it.
Right.
They're not getting any. They're not getting a new subscription. Right. They're not getting new subscriptions for people watching. Right.
They need to stick to doing stuff like Werewolf by Night, like that type of stuff. Right. I think 1 hour specials is what the Marvel stuff on Disney should turn into. Not 8 episodes that cost whatever $15 to $40 million per episode, shit like that. Yeah. So
whatever whole series would cost,
and especially with like Star Wars too. They should stick to animated Star Wars stuff on Disney because that stuff does really fucking well, and everyone hates live action stuff. So,
Speaking of canceled, the other thing that was canceled this week, which I was wondering how long this news is going to take to come out, but Mahershala Ali did an interview talking about the Blade movie and how he's not a part of it anymore. Called out Marvel, one of the first actors to actually do this in a very long time. Movie's been on track since 2019. He showed up at Comic-Con 7 years ago now.
I don't know about on track, but it's been announced.
It's been on
yes,
somewhere. Quote, I've been doing this professionally for pushing 30 years now, and one thing I've learned is that what it is for you and what is for you and what is not for you is not. I have no idea what he's trying to say there. For whatever reason, that project is not for me. If they wanted to do it, we would have done it. So I have to move on, and I have moved on. Again, you had me under contract. You have billions of dollars. If they wanted to do the movie, they would have done the movie. So we're not doing the movie. So he's just flat out saying, yeah, not happening. He trained for a year to prepare for that movie. So he used that training to do Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother, the movie I brought up in the trailers this week. So interesting to see how that training works out. I know it's an action movie of him kind of being an assassin, kind of John Wick type of character. So interesting to see that. Speaking of TV earlier, Born Again season 3, Jessica Hendrick, who played Colleen Wing in Iron Fist, talked about how she has had talks to return to Marvel about being the character, but she wants to make sure it's worthwhile to the character because she thought the character ended well in the last season of Iron Fist. So we'll have to wait and see on that if she comes back. They are bringing other people back for that season, so most of the Defenders are coming back. So Andrew Garfield says he would only return for a new Spider-Man film if the idea is completely unconventional. Quote, I would want it to be just completely unexpected, like a genre of Spider-Man that you've never seen before. Maybe like a road trip movie. He's kind of joking there. I've said that to show this concept art. This is from the canceled, that's her from Daredevil Born Again, from the canceled Amazing Spider-Man 3, which would have been versus the Sinister Six. And this is Spider-Man, looks like he's falling from space. With a whole bunch of explosions, almost like something from space is exploding. But it was supposed to be the Sinister Six versus Spider-Man. It got canceled and went, of course, to the MCU version. But and finally in news, it's all X-Men all the time. And I'm glad you know about the Jean Grey because we don't have to sugarcoat anything.
Yep.
In fact, I believe an article came out with Variety earlier today, pretty much confirming that she's Jean Grey. So I guess a week and 1 day is enough time for spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, as far as Variety is concerned, and as far as we are too. But rumors earlier last week was that Cooper Hoffman was rumored to be playing Cyclops in the MCU, and he confirmed these rumors, saying not going to be me, but like I love the X-Men. I don't know where this came from, so he denied it. Probably rightfully so, because somebody else was cast as Cyclops reportedly. Don't know him. I know I've seen him in something. I know he's in one of those Netflix show with the kid who plays Wiccan in WandaVision or in Agatha All Along. Kit Connor. He plays his love interest in that show. He's going to be playing Scott Summers' Cyclops. So he's going to be the love interest of Jean Grey. Of Sadie Sink's character Jean Grey. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Casting news, hopefully D23 next week. Also announced that Samara Weaving, I believe niece to Hugo Weaving, reportedly cast as Emma Frost. Interesting take that they're doing Emma Frost in this. I figured they were not going to be going. That seems like more 70s than 60s, but maybe they're going to start off with the 60s team going into the 70s. I don't think we're going to be seeing a Wolverine there, but this is the reported cast for X-Men going into D23 next week. These are all the people that are reported. Kelly Spaney reportedly going to be Rogue. I don't remember who the kid is on the right who may be playing Beast, but I know he's rumored to be playing Beast as well. But D23 happens next week. The reason why this did not get announced at Comic-Con is because D23, number one, Spider-Man Brand New Day had not been out yet. The Jean Grey of it all had not been announced yet. You can't really have Jean Grey come out on stage at Comic-Con before the Spider-Man movie comes out and spoil the movie. So they had to wait until D23, which is the Disney conference like Comic-Con, which stuff like this will get announced as well. I'm not sure what else we'll get next week, but we'll talk about that next week. Preview of that as well. D23 is kind of a big deal for Disney. I think the panel's Friday night or Friday night, I believe. So we'll talk all about that next week. That's our show for this week. Also next week, we'll talk about the finale of House of Dragon. Life, Lair, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness is tonight. We'll talk about that. The finale of X-Men 97 happens on Tuesday. I'll talk about that. Next week, I'll talk about Stuart Saves the Multiverse, Alternate Universe. Dark Side of the Ring, Episode 7, Paul Orndorff saving Mr. Wonderful. Talk about that.
Nice.
The season premiere of Season 4 of Reacher comes out on the 12th, 5 days from now. We'll talk about that. Tyre Season 3 comes out next Thursday. I'm going to watch all of that, talk about that. And we'll preview D23, talk all about that. In the month of August, when we come back, we'll talk about the rest of the week, probably break down the stuff that was revealed next week for the Marvel stuff. Also coming out on the 16th, the week after, I believe next Sunday, Lanterns. The movie called Dog Stars with Jacob Elordi, directed by Ridley Scott, comes out at the end of the month on the 28th, and the same day, Coyote versus Acme. So Lanterns is a big thing that's going to get us into October. Cannot wait for that. Very excited for Lanterns. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will talk to you next week. Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you. Talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you wanna be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest scoop and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb, we're here to entertain, bringing you the best in geekdom, it's our domain.